Hi, my name is Regé-Jean Page and I play Simon.
A rake is a Regency fuckboy. C'est moi. Rake, right here, ladies and gentlemen. Raking all over the place.
There's a lot can be said in a bow. How fast, how slow, how deep, how shallow. As ever, it's all in the eyes.
Season 2, even before season 1 is out.
Believe it when my accountant tells me it's so. Undressing yourself in period costume is not a simple affair. It's something of a team effort. Just woke up like this. This is just what I got going on. I made no effort.
What does your dream date night look like?
Me and a book.
And the person?
No, the person's the book. That my date is with the book. Like the best book will give me a fabulous night. I have an extensive library and we're very happy together.
What's your go-to pickup line?
Have I read you before? Let's have a
Oh,
That's not even a caption or a witticism. That is a statement of fact. Look at his face. That is the definition of too damn muchery. That's if there was a picture in the dictionary, he'd be there. He's my hero. I love that guy.
Julie Andrews. And we are all in awe. I had no warning whatsoever. I found out on Twitter and I was like, you can't do this to me. I was on the train. I yawped on the train. I was like, "Nah!" And everyone kind of turned and looked at me and I'm like, I have nothing. I mean, I can't tell you. And then just kind of melted into my seat in embarrassment.
I wouldn't necessarily describe Simon as a McDreamy, but if the dream were to evolve into something larger, hotter, and altogether more scandalous, then we may have a McSteamy on our hands. Love doesn't suddenly get simple just because you get married. If you talk to your parents, it's like, hey, you got married and then you stopped being interesting people and nothing ever happened to you again. Life got easy, right? I don't think that's quite how it plays out.
This bitch right here. Diamond. First water, all the diamond.
Every male character in this show needs therapy. I find myself saying that out loud.
Yes, they do. They need to talk to someone and they need to listen. I think the Brits take tea breaks. We make tactical cups of tea. You leave the room just like for no particular reason at all, just to make a very, very long cup of tea and then bring that back into the room when the egregious scenes have passed. Present that I am going to receive is Bridgerton on Christmas Day, 25th of December, 2020.
In terms of thinking about myself, I do my absolute best not to. That's why I spend so much time pretending to be other people. But I'm very, very glad that other people are enjoying what we've put out into the world.
The family WhatsApp group has like red flashing lights. It's like Ep5, beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, okay, good.
But you don't tend to reach everyone sometimes. We missed one of my cousins and she sent me a message just like, I had to make so many tactical cups of tea during the show. And then I'd come back and you were still going. So I'd have to go back and put the kettle back on. Riding boots and a cane. If I could stomp down the street with a bejeweled cane and knee-length riding boots, I think I'd be set in life and I'd be more than happy with myself.
Should I know what it is? Is this obvious? What's the reveal?
Peaky Blinders.
My mother told me not to get into this career, and I suddenly just figured out why.
Mr. Verica!
It's
Mr. Verica!
What's up? Verica! TV, ladies and gentlemen.
No, like Ariana Grande is perfect for that scene. There's some aggressive like Tinder swiping left, except in real life at the ball. It's very thank you next. You know? Particular scenes literally took months to figure out how to get out of the clothes in time to do stuff without the clothes. Like 21st century dudes think we have problems with bras. Like corsets are a whole new universe.
Do you walk through a hotel? Do people just plummet?
Clearly, for the sake of everyone, luckily I'm not walking through many hotels at the moment, so there's no one to drop in this living room of mine. One of these days maybe I'll find out, but that's not my experience thus far. Sorry, I got a little bit overwhelmed by the numbers there. What was the...
It's a lot.
Give it to you with the gift basket at the beginning as the welcome. They just give you the accent. You pop it like a pill.
There it is.
It's kind of like Jane Austen meets Gossip Girl with like 35 shades of grey. You know, if I could take one thing from the Bridgerton set, I would love to have a personalized corset. I feel like I missed out on a vital experience that so much of the cast got. I feel personally gypped and attacked that I did not have a corset made for me. What if I did have a corset on the whole time and I just never told you? Yeah, Yeah, absolutely.
I know.
We wish we could get to say hello. The mysterious
Yeah.
Julie Andrews narrating from afar. Just kind of you kind of get to feel the end of her consonants. I think Close Encounter is incredibly apt for titling the question about our first day on set. It was a very close encounter in the library because we're both very well-behaved and scholarly young people, both in and out of fiction. You also say sharing my network password with, like I'm not the sharee. I've got the shared account, but then I'm like really, really picky about like the users because it's just like I don't want my queue messed up by anyone else. But I also have like my little private garden of curated Netflix.
Yeah.
There's lust and lies and wealth and betrayal and sex and jewels and glamour and balls and dancing and all kinds of things. You didn't think we were going to leave all of that out of the story. We just, you asked for the basics. I gave you the basics. You don't have to do that thing where you go to the grocery store and it takes you 30 minutes more to get to the checkout because you're attracting everyone. It's like personal life over here, professional life over there. Perfect.
Oh, it's like the period dramas that you know and love, but faster, funnier, wittier, sexier, altogether more glamorous. Like a great big wrapped Christmas present of a Jane Austen meets Gossip Girl.
My mum just got the book and I'm turning my phone off. I don't even want to be involved in that conversation. The Brits are very, very good at repression. It's our cultural export to the world. And we are exceptional at it. And Americans are super good at expression. Mariah Carey owns Christmas for me. I think that's the harbinger of Christmas. When Mariah's around, Christmas is here. A bunch of the horses in the series are fake. They're not actually horses at all. They're sat in there and with a green screen in the background, it's just like, okay, make the horses go faster. And then you hear three guys go, oh. And I guess they take that out in post-production. I think the most horrifying thing is when your parents aren't horrified. Like you're sitting there and you're like, oh, careful, it's going to go to see me. And they're just like, yes, do you think you invented this? And you're like, oh no, that's even worse. What exact type of coffee would you like to turn up right now? And the answer would be like 3 different cappuccinos. And thank you very much. Oh. Simon desperately needs to crack a smile, and he does eventually. Whereas Chico has no problem with that whatsoever and probably desperately needs to tap into his brooding side and maybe think a couple of times before he speaks. I think the ability to keep large houseplants alive is a great start. I think you'll do fine if you keep the background. It shows a nurturing nature. It shows a generosity and empathy with other living creatures.